Hello, welcome back to another of the annual traditional, I guess at this point, Ben the Beer Lads Beer Awards. I've gone through all my videos this year and I've compiled a list of the beers that I've put up for the Beer Awards. It is currently New Year's Eve. It's not as late as the fireworks make it out. It's just I have dickhead neighbours who set fireworks off at all hours of the fucking evening. It's not even 7 o'clock yet. Okay, there's fireworks going off. Give it a minute. Anyway, I'm currently drinking Python. I said this was going to be the last drink of 2025 on the channel, and it is. It's still drinking it. I'm enjoying it. So, bit of news to get through. All this stuff, gotta get through it. It's been a good year, 2025, full of highs, a few lows, but that's just how life is, isn't it? Some really, really good brewers on this list. Some very exceptional beers this year. Some lows, some sad news this year. Ozzy Osbourne died. The whole thing went to shit. Rock in everything. Rock music's gone and all that. It's not, but you know what I mean. I had a beer dedicated to Ozzy Osbourne and everything. Whole thing of it. That was in the Advent calendar. Wonder Beyond has gone under. I think they've gone under. It looks like they're done now. There's nothing else coming out of it. He had a beer tasting thing with some stuff, and it looks like that's the end of it. He had the auction and everything, so some sad news with brewers. I hope it's not the end of Wonder Beyond, because Wonder Beyond are like hold a special place, because they are the first sort of big brewer that I really got into. Say big brewer, but big independent brewer that I really got into. Really enjoyed their stuff before I did the channel, before I did the beer reviewing. Just enjoyed any Wonder Beyond I could get my hands on back when he was brewing loads. And now it's once every 6 months or so. Anyway, I don't get it often, and now it looks like I might not get it at all. Anyway, moving on to the awards. So, I've compiled a collection, like I say, of beers from brewers and the style that they are, and I've given my sort of verdict of what there is. The missus has also compiled her top 3 sours of the year, so I'm going to start with them because there are some good ones on here that I definitely do agree with. Also, yeah, I'd like to know what people are. So the missus has compiled in reverse order. Three, three sours, and there's a bit of a theme actually going on. So in number 3 from the missus, she's gone with Scoop Mango Lassie by Azvex. That one was a very nice one. Was that the orange one with the vanilla flecks?
Yeah, the one that tasted like a mango ice cream.
Yeah, that one was very nice. I remember that one. I had that one. I've actually put that one on my list.
Snap.
Yeah, because not as beer of the year, but definitely up there as one of the better beers that I've drank this year. Because it was just really nice. Worked really, really well. Number 2, she's come in with the late entry of Crumble. Only just reviewed this today. Only just got my hands on it today. And that has come in second place for the missus. Which is quite a bold statement. And she's gone with Scoop's Blue Raspberry as number 1. She's in there. Okay. She's gone with Scoop's Blue Raspberry, the big blue one, as her beer sour of the year, which is also a beer of the year because she doesn't drink any beers. And that's her beer of the year, the Blue Raspberry Sour by Blue Raspberry Scoop by Azvex. They're all Azvex beers. Crumble's the only one that's not a whole Azvex beer. It's a collab with Elm 11. Yeah, and that's her 3. I have compiled my own list, which is compiled of 3, 6, 9, 11 beers, which I have thought were fantastic. Basically, one a month at this point. Some very, very exceptional stuff I've enjoyed. Going through them, I'm not doing this in any particular order. This is just how I've written them down. I have gone for Golden Goose by Vault City. I thought that was the best of their sour collection of the Marvelous Liquids, I believe it was called. The Charlie and Chocolate Factory ones. Really, really good stuff. Very, very nice. It was the best out of what I'd call a mediocre bunch. Yeah, they were a mediocre bunch. You're right. It just didn't. It felt rushed. So I've gone for Redemption of Vanity That is a Azvex Imperial Stout. If you remember that one, it was the black can with the black mirror on it, and it was just a really, really good stout. That was probably what kind of got me into Azvex's Imperial Stout. By that point, I just kind of was hooked. I've gone for Crunch by Vault City. Their Imperial Stout. There's actually not really a theme with mine. I've got quite a few different styles. I've got two back-to-back stouts there. But Crunch by Vault City was a really, really, really nice Imperial Stout. It was a crunchy honeycomb chocolate, worked really well. Flavors really balanced. I've got a series on here now. I've not a series as in I put the whole series forward, but I wanted to talk about this because it was quite a good series, and each beer was unique in its own way, but also just really, really good. And that was Operation Genome by Azvex. That only came out this year. That was 5 beers, 5 collaborations. 3 of them were dippers. One was an Imperial Sour, or an Imperial Smoothie Sour, I think it was. And then one was an Imperial Stout. And just to sort of break up me listing off some beers, that whole series was fantastic. It was a really, really nice thing. Azvex knew exactly what they were doing with that. It just, every beer worked. There was no sort of there was no bad beer. There was no mediocre beer. They were all, I'm pretty sure they were all at least an 8 and above. They were just that good. Right, moving on from that. Not nominating that as a beer of the year because that's a series, and they were all fantastic. But yeah, anyway, moving from there, I've got Parish Brewing's Holy Ghost Tipper. It was the gold can with the white flaming skull on it. It looked really cool. That was I think that may have been the first tipper of the year actually, and it was just phenomenal. It was something else. I think Parish Brewing were also American as well, which really sort of took me aback. I didn't expect the Americans tippers to be pulling that kind of weight, but they did. So I was quite pleasantly surprised by that one. After that, I've got Breakbeat, and I've got their Spiritual Aura, the Quipper, the Quadruple IPA, the first and only Quadruple IPA. No, first Quadruple IPA. I did have a second, but I didn't know it was quad when I drank it. The second one was Troubles X. I didn't know that was Quadruple IPA, but it was. But the first, I believe, the first Quipper of the year. By Breakbeat, their Spiritual Aura. Breakbeat are just fantastic. They are really, really good. I don't do them enough on this channel, and that's sort of my bad. But the ones that I do end up having on the channel are just they're just next level stuff. Last year I think it was called the 21% Imperial Stout, and that was something else. But yeah, the Quadruple IPA, I think it was 15-16%. Really, really nice. So good. I've got a Wander Beyond on here. I've got Dancing with Their Ghosts, which I've actually got the sticker on the side of my fridge, because I kind of want to I didn't want to keep the bottle because I've got a lot of bottles and I can't be bothered with that. Yeah, I couldn't keep the bottle, so I kept the sticker. And that was their last stout, last beer that I've had, and I think it's their last beer in general, to be fair, going off of the Wander Beyond stuff. That one was just phenomenal, really blew me away. Really, really good stuff. In the same year, I actually cracked open my 6-year-old Wander Beyond Sea Song. Been in my bottle for 6 years. I've had it for six years. It's also on the side of the fridge. Best before was 2020. I think I bought it in 2018, 2017. So maybe a bit older than, maybe 8 years, 7 or 8 years. And that one just was awful. I left it too long. Joe, there's a reason it's a best before date. And I like to try and age things a little better and, get them to a point that is really drinkable and sort of peak. And I missed that, and I wasn't reviewing at the time. I just missed it, and I was saving it for a special occasion anyway, and I just kept pushing it back and back. I just didn't have it. So that was probably one of the worst beers I've had this year. Not through Wander Beyond's fault, definitely through my own fault. If I'd had that when it came out, it probably would have blew me away. But I just didn't have it anyway. Moving swiftly on, I've put Orange Scoop But that was the Mango Lassi by Azvex. That also was another really, really good smoothie sour, ice cream sour, sorry, by Azvex. They just know what they're doing there. I can't fault them. I've not had a bad beer this year from Azvex. After that, I've got the Army of Darkness by Rivington. Their Evil Dead, the sour, was so well done this year. It was with Make Make, I believe it was, this year. Where's my glass? I've got the glass actually. Where is it? It should be here somewhere. There it is. Yeah, so you had the sour with Make Make, the Dipper with Chain House, and the Imperial Stout with Third Moon. And I mean, that glass, that in itself gives that something else. But yeah, the sour was just phenomenal. Really enjoyed that. I didn't write it down. I kind of forgot about it. I didn't forget about it because I've gone through. I knew it jogged my memory, but the sour was really good. Probably the best sour that Rivington have done, especially in the Evil Dead series. The Dipper was it was good, but it wasn't the best that they've done. And then the Imperial Stout was just probably their best Imperial Stout ever. And that's a difficult one because they have had some really good stuff. Next is part of the Advent calendar, and that was Bukuro by Gravity Well and Imperial Stout, which was the second one I had in the Singularity series. Fantastic stuff, really good stuff. I need to get more Gravity Well in because I had 4 in the Advent calendar. All of them are part of the Singularity series. The missus didn't know they were actually part of the series. She just picked them up and threw them in. Slipper Tipper, I think it was called. Yeah, okay, I'll go with that. Slipper Tipper. That was another really good one. Really good tipper. But I'm going with the Makuro Gravity Well Imperial Stout because it was just something else. That was just class. I really enjoyed it. Underneath that, I've also got Strategic Reserve by Azvex on their 4th birthday. I've actually managed to get the 4th birthday beers in this year. I had to go back and double check when I upload them. 6 months ago, I did Scoop 3, so I was really late to the party with that. 6-7 months ago. So yeah, Strategic Reserve is on here, and that was really good. I really enjoyed that. It's been a difficult one. I'm drinking Python. I would put Python on here as a last minute entry, but I've decided I'm not going to because Python would win overall, and I'm not giving Python 2 years in a row because it's a bit unfair because it's the last year's beer just barrel aged, so I'm not going to do it. If they'd barrel aged it for 2 years, and then released it, I may have done it, but it's the same beer but with brandy in it. It tastes great. Probably one of the best beers I've had this year, but I'm not giving it to them because it's not fair to just do that. So with all that said, I'm going to kind of break it down a bit. I've got a few Imperial Stouts on here. I've got a couple of sours, and I'm going to do my own sour of the year because I think sour of the year is different to beer of the year. Because I have that many sours, it kind of gets its own category. I personally am going to disagree with the missus. I am going to give Crumble the sour of the year because it's just that good. Blue Scoop is a very close second though. You'll be surprised at how close it is. It's just them 2 beers are like leagues above everything else in any other series that Azvex or Vault City or any of the brewers have made. It's leagues above it. They've set the bar, and I don't think Azvex can even top their own bar at this point. Right, so that is my sour of the year. My beer of the year, though, I'm actually going to get around to it now because it's a bit long and I want to go away and enjoy my drink and then all sorts. My beer of the year, I'm actually going to go with Rivington's Army of Darkness. Don't get me wrong, Strategic Reserve 4 was fantastic. Makuro by Gravity Well was also amazing. But something about this year's Army of Darkness. What are you doing? What have you got? How's your ball? Something about this year's Army of Darkness. It hit different. It was so well done. Third Moon, Rivington, they just teamed so well and made probably what I'd call the stout of the year. It was fantastic. I only did that in November, so I remember it quite well, but it was just something else. I really enjoyed that. Army of Darkness, easy win. I'll say easy win. It was a difficult one because there are a lot on here that I quite enjoyed, but it stands out. I don't know what it is. It just stood out. There are some beers I definitely haven't mentioned, like Cacao Demon and such. And if I could leave this on and let this go for half an hour, I'd probably rant and go on about all these great beers that I've had and all these great ones I want to carry on drinking and hope they make again. Not that they will, because a lot of these are one-offs. So I don't actually end up getting to have them again. But I digress. So, with that, I'm going to go away, enjoy my new year, enjoy my beer. That is the Beer of the Year awards. All done. Yeah, so if you've got yourself a beer of the year, please let me know. Let me know what stands out for you, what your favourite beer was, what was a really, really shit beer that you didn't like at all, something that ended up down the sink, something that you just couldn't drink, anything, doesn't matter. I sound like Dr. Zeus there. Anyway, point is, let me know if there was a beer you really enjoyed. Let me know if there's a beer that you just didn't like. I'm curious to see what people think. If there are any beers that you've had that you think that was really, really good, but I didn't end up reviewing it or I didn't mention it, let me know. Again, I may have missed it, I may have forgotten it. Yeah, let me know. I'll see if there's any that I've missed that I haven't actually reviewed. I'll see if I can find them, see if I can review them next year. We'll find out. Let's see if 2026 will bring us some more good beers. Don't know what I'm going to be doing in January, whether I'm going to do dry January or whether I'm going to be uploading. Don't know. If I do dry January, I'll upload some leftover reviews that didn't even make it into the Beer of the Year awards because they just weren't that good. Not that they were bad, but they just not really memorable. Anyway, so yeah, let me know down below. If you like the video though, thumbs up, thumbs down, all usual stuff. If you want to subscribe, consider doing so. So on and so forth, etc, etc, blah 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 blah. Have a good new year. Stay safe. Remember, drinking beer is safer than drinking water. And yeah, I'll see you later. See you until next year.